Hey YouTube, this is Gohan from Dragon Ball Z. You're watching AmatureKiLLer HD, the ultimate Super Saiyan.
Hey, what is up, guys? It is me, AmatureKiLLer, bringing you a video on Dragon Ball Idol. Holy smokes, we are back posting another video. I understand I came back, explained something, and then vanished. One thing I do need to mention, I know I left it on a little cliffhanger. The reason of my departure and now my return, Amature had a little baby Amature, so because of that, we need to make sure to take care of that first, also our business, and then we can focus on this. And now, since things have slightly calmed down, we can now get back into this. And we do have great news that a new unit is coming out, and that is Bulma. She looks like an absolute beast, so we're going to see exactly how that's going to be looking like in the next couple of weeks when she does come out. So in the title, you could see that it is a tier list, and it does say 2024. Now, mind you, we are in December, so this is for anyone that will be joining our game in this month or even in 2024. At least they know exactly who they should be looking at in extent of tier list. Now, this is going to be a tier list split up into two parts. Part one is going to have, I actually did the math because I saw the amount of units and I was like, whoa. So there's a total of 60 at the moment SSS units. We're only going to be talking about 28. And then in part two, we're going to be talking about the remaining ones, and especially all the newer units that just came out. So we're going to be mainly focusing on the OGs in a way for now. Part two will have everyone else, so make sure to leave a like to see part two. If we get to 10 likes, I don't know, I'm gonna make the like goal short. If we get to 10 likes, we're gonna do part two. We're gonna be starting to work on part two. Right now I'm only recording part one, and then we will do part two. But just smash a like just in case. Just because you guys, you guys miss me, so smash that like. Right, and here we have it. We have our tier list all set up. As you can see, Dragon Ball Idol 2024 tier list maker. We have what we listed before, and starting off, now let's go ahead and Fat Boo. Right now, we're going to talk about each unit, not into detail, because not many people are going to know exactly who is going to be the best unit to go into. For example, you guys got the people, I don't know why this ad pops up, but either way, for the people that are new to the game, they're gonna be like, okay, we don't know any of these units, so we don't really know what they do. For anyone that is playing the game at the moment, we all know that who is good and who is not good. Some units are going to be picked just because of affinities, and you won't even touch them. The beauty about this game is that you only should be focusing on 5 units until you progress to a certain level, to then starting to level up other units. You never want to actually start up many units at once, because then you're not going to progress. If you guys look at a way earlier video of mine, I actually do explain it. If anyone is new or confused, I will be making some new guides for people just to maybe help them out. But let's start off with Fat Boo. We do see him becoming more of, in my opinion, because of Xeno Vegeta, which is a new unit that was added to the game. Because of Xeno Vegeta, I do see the use of Fat Boo, and because of Fat Boo having him on a team going against some Xeno Vegetas, it did help me out a lot, especially going up against a couple of strong guys that do have it. So, in my opinion, Fat Boo was always good, and especially if you do have his skin, he is well a good tank. So we're not going to put him at S tier, because I don't think he is S tier material, even though that he does do good work. If there was a in between of S tier and A tier, I would do that. So I'm actually going to put him like in first place. let's put it, of A tier. You know, the closer to the title of the tier, they're basically better. So if I was to put, for example, you know, Goku, example, Super Saiyan 3 Goku right here, that means that Fat Boo is better than Goku in a way, but that's not even the case. Gotenks, okay, this is another unit, especially starting out in the game. Gotenks is a very good unit, especially in Hero Rescue. Hero Rescue, you can get most of these units except for Evil Boo, Vegito, Beerus, and VIP Broly. Everyone else is actually in, and Gogeta. You cannot get these units, but everyone else you can get in Hero Rescue. So you can actually get these guys with saving your gems and patience. In my opinion, he's a great support tank. He can buff up units. He can do great crowd control, stun, steal energy. This guy is an absolute animal when you start off the game, and you still see him being used later on in the game as well. For tier, do I put him as an S tier? To be honest, I actually would, because he is so viable to even endgame and post endgame that he is very, very viable in utilizing him. So you know what? I'm going to be bold and I'm going to put him in S tier. Now, mind you, this list is super optional. Just because I say this does not mean that it goes. Other people can say, for example, the debate on God Goku. You know, God Goku is like, to me, he's garbage. To other people, he's the best. So, you know, that's what you need to look at. Okay, so Evil Boo, I'm going to put him at A tier. This is a VIP unit, VIP 12, so you do have to spend some money to get him. Very overall good unit, but if you are going the free route, Fat Boo is just as excellent. The only thing that Evil Boo does that's a little different is that he targets the highest attacking person on the field and taunts them. So that's the only difference. And what else? Oh, and also steals attack as well, so makes them a little weaker. So that's not bad. Goku Super Saiyan 3 used to be an absolute G. I would probably in the beginning used to, because he was one of the only units in Hero Rescue that you could get, I was going to put him in A tier in the beginning. Now with certain updates, buffs, and nerfs of some units, I actually can see Super Saiyan 3 Goku as a C tier. Now, mind you, Super Saiyan 3 Goku is one of my favorite units. One of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball, especially when he goes Super Saiyan 3 against Fat Boo and just starts screaming. Very epic moment. But in this game, because of some nerfs that he received, I don't see him being super viable after mid-game. Early game, you can use any of these units that you see. Mid-game to end-game, this is where you rarely see that. That was a tongue twister. You will rarely see this unit. And if people are using that unit, listen, great. They're trying to be diverse and they're trying to be, you know, trying to have some authenticity, which is important. Gohan used to be the only AoE unit that did a massive amount of damage in the golden times of the game. With all these new units coming out, this guy is absolutely trash. In my opinion, I'll put him ahead of Goku. But in my opinion, not worth it. They took him out of the game, then they put him back in. Completely not worth it. He is strong, but compared to the other AoE units that are on this list currently right now, he is one of the weaker ones. Massive glass cannon. If there was an update to him, maybe he could be better. I don't know. Vegito, S tier. Let's put him. I'm gonna still keep Gotenks in the front just because of viability. This guy's always used. Vegito, absolute animal for anyone that is joining a server and just randomly spends money and becomes VIP 14. If you do that right away in a server, you automatically win the server until another top dog contender comes into play. Mid-game to end-game, you rarely see this guy. Now, I do have a skin on him because of the VIP 17. So he does get an extra buff. But other than that, you rarely get to see him endgame. And now because of the whole, what is it called? Not terror. And with erosion coming into play, that kind of shunned bleed. Erosion seems to be doing a little bit more overall damage than bleed, so that's why more people are starting to utilize erosion more. But yes, God Goku. I feel bad putting this unit at C tier, but this is where I think he goes. You need to equip this unit with so many different spirits and make sure the equipment is good, make sure the marks is good. This guy is the only unit in the game that needs to be properly equipped with marks and the proper spirits, because with that, then you're going to start to see some slight improvement. Now mind you, this guy is immune to CC. He is also, every time someone gets a crit, he gets more energy towards his active skill, which is a massive plus. But when it comes to just overall damage, this guy absolutely is like, I don't even know how to explain it. Okay, the angels, in my opinion, so Whis is good. I'm gonna put Whis at A tier. Whis is one of those units that you shouldn't get right away, but if you have one chance to get him and you see him and you want to use him right away as an angel, 100% go for it. We're just gonna do all the angels. I'm gonna put Kusu at A. She's actually really good, even though I always talk trash about her. With her healing ability of only 3 units compared to the 5, she actually does more healing overall. But we rarely get to see her in action. Vados, we're gonna put her at S tier. Vados, we all know her as the damage reduction queen. We also got the not affected by debuffs and blah 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 blah. Vados is a guaranteed a good pick if you guys do decide to get her in Hero Rescue. What other angel is in here? There is no other angel. Okay, Beerus. This guy is a event unit. You will not be seeing him in Hero Rescue whatsoever. He is, in my opinion, a very good unit, so we're going to put him in the top list of the S tier. This guy does Ultra Instinct. Every time someone dies, he gains extra buff to do more damage. This guy can sometimes win you games with putting this unit as an off tank, because let's say, for example, if Gotenks decides to attack him and he's in third, Gotenks will not hit a single time, which is frustrating sometimes if you do go up against that. VIP Broly, really overlooked now because of all the other units that are out there, but in my opinion, he is wow, this is a tough one. I mean, listen, you get VIP Broly if you spend a lot of money and become a VIP 16, so it wouldn't be really fair to put him as S tier, even though he does do a massive amounts of damage. So I will be putting him in S tier, to be honest, but I won't be putting him towards the front just because you do need to have VIP 16 to get him. So I'll put him towards the end just because, you know, there is restrictions to get this unit, but he is very good unit. High attack, high everything, high counter attack, beautiful. Okay, AoE time. AoE have gotten a big buff, not in just damage wise, but just overall a massive buff to them, especially if you partner them up with Kefla, which we're going to be seeing in the next part 2. So out of the blues, okay, AoE blues, I feel like putting them in S tier would be too much, so I would actually put it in the front list. So I would put Goku in the front, and then Vegeta you see less, even though Vegeta is very good still, but you see Vegeta less than you do see Goku. Goku, in my opinion, does way more damage because of people with higher HP. Vegeta is like the finisher. It wouldn't be fair to put Vegeta at B, but I would say a high B. So high B, Vegeta would be good. They're still great units. Don't get me wrong. Even though the tier list is this, don't get me wrong. Now, God tier. There is a couple units. I don't think a couple units. There are a few, not a lot, that do make it to God tier. There were units that used to be God tier, but because of nerfs, did not become God tier. But I just don't know if in this part 1 we're going to be seeing a God tier. Excuse me. B? Or do we put him at like low A? No, we'll put him at low A. I don't think B is fair. Goku. Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I will put him at B tier just because he does have the lethal ability. Lethal is great. Especially if you're going up against a unit that can revive and is evil. Like Evil Boo or Fat Boo, or Zamasu because of unyielding, or any other people that do unyielding that are evil. Lethal will completely, or Kid Boo. Lethal will eliminate that, and you guys can kill them without having the ability to revive. Golden Frieza. In the beginning of the game, when you are free to play and you would like to keep that bleed team, Golden Frieza is a must. As you progress mid-game, you could still use Golden Frieza. Once you become end-game, this is where things change because you won't be seeing any more bleed teams. That's why with this one, I would actually put this right there. I think this is fair, changing that. So with Golden Frieza, I wouldn't specifically say A tier, so I would actually put him in like a high B tier, just because he is viable up to a certain point, and that's when you have to start switching. Now, when you do play idle, this is what you do. Ready? You go from heavy bleed, right? Bleed team, bleed team. Then you start to transition to like single target. Then you maybe end game start to transition to AoE, or keep single target, or have a hybrid, depending on who you're using and if all your skill tree are maxed out. Red Vegeta, God Vegeta, known to be actually a very good AoE unit as well. I personally think, I mean, the VIP units we can actually put towards the end. I feel like that's only fair. I think that's fair right here. Yeah. I think Vegeta is slightly better than Blue Vegeta. The beautiful part about it is that you can pair AoE Vegeta and Goku, and because Goku's on the field, Vegeta can converge, or that's the other way. Yes, that's what it is. They converge. If you have both blues, then they converge alternately. But if Vegeta attacks, then Goku doesn't converge. It's only if... No, wait a minute. Yeah. Or wait. Yes, correct. Yeah, it's confusing, but yes. So if Goku attacks, then Vegeta follows. But if this Vegeta attacks, Goku doesn't follow. If this Vegeta attacks, Goku follows. Get my drift? Okay, cool. Champa. I personally always dislike this unit, but he's actually a very good tank. He's actually a very good tank, free to get. Also in Hero Rescue, I would put him under Fat Boo. I like Fat Boo more than Champa. Other people might say Champa is S tier. I don't think so. Hit. Hit used to be good. Now this guy targets units with the lowest HP on the field. The thing is, with Focus Fire, with Topo, with Quitella, which automatically has low HP, this unit doesn't target anyone on the field that has low HP. It targets the people that are either in Focus Fire effect which we know as Topo, Hakai Topo, and Selmax. Okay? These units will take his attacks. Huitela will take the attack. He has low HP. So this unit used to be good until all these units came out, which made him complete trash. Unless they can, you know, end up updating him. Personally speaking, I will actually put him at C tier. Very good unit, though. Still a good unit, but I would definitely put him above. I would put him above. You know what? A high C tier. High C tier is fine. Rose. Rose is a type of unit like Fu, because Fu inflicts erosion to the team. Rose inflicts bleed to the team. It's a lighter bleed, but it is bleed. I don't really see him as B tier. Don't really see him as B tier. A high C tier. You don't see this guy anymore being used. You could make a fun team with Rose and Cooler, because Cooler, when he does have bleed effect, he cannot get his HP reduced. Wait, no. Overall, he cannot get his HP reduced, but when he is in bleed, he actually gains a shit ton of HP back. So you do need to pair Cooler with Rose if you want to do that. But then again, you'd be taking a chance. You would have to have like a good healer on the team and good attackers to, like, you know, finish the job. And then he also receives focus fire as well. I tried Rose, wasn't a fan, just because of he couldn't really tank that well. This is tough. This is tough. C tier. You know what? We'll do C tier and then put Cooler at B tier. I like Cooler's defense, but he does need to be in bleed. I don't know about erosion. If he's in erosion, I don't know if he gains the HP. That's something that testing would have to be done. Roomshi, a unit that I wanted to bring back for so long that I don't know exactly if there will be a chance to return him. He was never good. Never good. He was good at some point for a little bit until it was like, nope, not good at all. So this guy, I have to, oh man, he's either a high C tier or a low B tier. It just depends on how you use him. He's an off tank guy. He's a skill unit, which increases the energy of one person, I think for a cooldown of 4 turns. If there was a buff that made it a cooldown of maybe 2 or 3 turns, maybe 3 turns, I could see that he's viable. Or even 2 turns. I could see him being viable. With the 4-turn cooldown, I don't really see that. And also, he does attack the person with the lowest HP as well. You know, I'm gonna put him at low B tier. I think there is a chance this guy could be good. So I'm gonna put him at that. Janimba, a very good, unreally spoken about attack unit. Janimba, I can see him. He's not very viable mid to end game. No, mid game he is. End game you could get so many better single target units. So I'd actually put this guy at a high B tier, maybe behind Golden Frieza. Yes, this looks proper. Very good unit. This is Kale. Yeah, Kale. Kale needs to have a slight partner to do damage. So I think for an LSS, you either need to have Super Broly, and then you can have a regular. But personally speaking, this is a low C tier for me. Maybe ahead of... You know what? Let's do that. If you were in a pickle to choose between Janimba and Kale, I would go for Janimba first. And if you have extra gems or maybe something to get Kale just for affinity purposes, I would. That's the thing. If you guys have an excess amount of gems, especially after an event or maybe saving for an event, and you see like Hero Rescue comes out and you want to get units, you could get those units and not use them. You could use them for affinities, which is important. Okay, so let's skip these two, and then we're going to go right to Zamasu. Very overlooked unit, great at CC. First attack causes 100% stun, which is a cooldown of 4 turns. If this guy had a rework, he also has unyielding. If there was a rework on this guy, it would be good. One guy actually did some testing on damage-wise, and he did a massive amount of damage. He actually does some very good damage depending on the spirits and marks that he could potentially have. He could be a very good target, like an AoE unit, with that CC effect also. I would actually put this unit at a high B tier. He does have damage reduction aura as well. He can be viable at endgame. I was probably one of the only people that did use him as a test for AoE, and it worked out pretty solid. I think I used them with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and I did Zamasu, and it worked out really well. So I would actually put this guy at either a high B, either a high B or a low A. I'll do a high B. I do a high B, higher than Golden Frieza. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, the defense one, the defense unit, because we have a Xeno Vegeta, which is a Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, but the attack version, that one is absolutely broken, or like, you know, RIP to anyone that's going up against. But this unit, definitely better. I'm going to put this guy right here. I have to. Because you actually see Vegeta when you start playing the game a lot in many teams, because he does convergence with Super Saiyan units and also can taunt units as well when the game first starts, I think for just 1 turn. And then there's a cooldown of that. So he also has primitive, which removes debuffs. Very good unit. He is almost the same as Goku, but without lethal, but he can taunt. So this guy is more of like a tanky guy that can cause some crowd control, where this one is more of a tanky guy that just makes bad people not come back to life. Okay, let's look at that. But definitely, I think Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is way better than Goku. Okay, we're gonna talk about Gogeta last. Now, I do have a God skin on him. Without the God skin, he's just a regular Super Saiyan Gogeta. But Super 17. This guy was reworked multiple times. He went from back unit to front unit, now back to back unit, if I'm not mistaken. Back unit meaning back row attacker. When he dies, he does explode. I don't see him as an A tier unit. I do see him as a high B tier if you guys are going for a back row attack team. Very good unit overall. I think he needs to have different status ailment on him to do more damage. So like if he's in, I don't know, silence, this, he does more damage. So I would actually put him at a high B tier under Zamasu. I think that would be fair. And then lastly, Gogeta. This is probably the most controversial unit ever. This is a unit that when you see him on a team, you need to start playing chess. You need to know, for example, you have a unit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? You need to play chess in a sense of putting a unit in first to get contempted, to then have everyone on the opposite team attack your tank in second place. Because if you have a tank in first place and then he gets contempted by Gogeta, that means that number 2, which is potentially a healer or someone else, will get killed instantly. So this unit, the reason why I say controversial, not many people are going to agree with this, but I will put him at God tier. That is my opinion. My opinion is God tier just because of the brain, excuse my French, but brain fuckery that he does give, because you need to know exactly how to properly place units and where to put them, you know, especially on a back row team. You can taunt or contempt, I'm sorry, contempt the third row person and have Jiren completely annihilate the fourth position person, which is normally your attacker. And Jiren can then destroy your fourth and fifth unit and just have Gogeta casually just attacking number 1 and number 2, and then Gotenks alongside having the Gotenks in there. That's why I said Gotenks is S tier. He's going to be in the same team as well. So this is part 1. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Was this a good representation of a tier list? It was a good description. Do you want maybe something shorter or maybe the same length for part 2? Let me know. I will read everyone's comment, and from what I get, the feedback, that's how I will do part 2. Also, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and make sure to check out the video of Bulma coming out soon. And also, guys, if you guys want to see a different game, make sure to go and subscribe to AmatureKiLLerHD for other games not Dragon Ball related. All right, guys, peace.